All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Level Up Training Systems podcast. This is your host, OG Big Lifts, and Nick Level Up. You can find us on Instagram. We have a new guest for today. We have Bionic Dan Bidondi.
What's up,
Uh,
guys?
all right, Dan. So, why don't you lead us in and start telling us about your recent competition? You just had this comp. It was Cold Hearts, February 14th on Valentine's Day. Tell me what you thought about it. Like how was it going to your first powerlifting competition?
Oh
Uh,
yeah. My first competition, it was awesome, and we trained hard for that. And Dylan here, the OGB Bigler says my trainer, and so we trained hard for that. And so got to the competition. I was a little nervous at first, but I mean, when I got in there and got to rolling, my adrenaline started kicking up,
yep.
and just went in there hard and did our best and come out with 2 gold medals. So
Oh, dude, yeah. Because I remember before you started doing powerlifting, you were sort of doing your own thing, but you didn't have the best technique,
no, not
and
at all.
you wanted to do a comp, but you
Yeah,
needed to have some little bit of structural guidance,
yeah.
right? And then I saw as soon as I started hooking you up with the program and getting you on track, I could see it right away how determined and focused you are. You were even filming your warm ups where you had just the bar, literally seeing if you could get down to depth every single set.
Hmm.
You were laser focused. Why don't you tell me about that?
Oh
Like
yeah, that
what
was.
got it in your head to be so locked in, laser focused?
Well, for years, I mean, I was just like one of those guys getting in the gym, like the bench press, boom, boom, right off the chest, whatever the case. And the squats were the crap, literally. I mean, I barely got any depth. I'm still working on depth now. My deadlifts were, I mean, okay, but I was using more on my back. So when I
Yeah.
wanted to
A
go into
little bit of
competition,
hitching, a little bit of ramping, something a little bit more like
yeah,
a strongman deadlift.
yeah. So when I learned about the competition and I watched your videos, you and Nick's videos, and I'm like, wow, it's a different style because you got to pause and everything's gonna be proper. So if I
Yep.
didn't go through the training with you guys, man, I don't think I would have even placed in that
Man, it was
competition.
crazy watching you compete too,
Mm.
because every single time you went out on the platform, it was a state record.
Yeah.
Opening squat, opening bench, opening deadlift, state record, state record,
Mm.
state record. I think you only missed one lift, and that was one of the benches
The last bit.
because
Yeah.
you hit the rack,
Yeah.
and they interpreted it like an early racking. But I mean, every lift you did was a record. You set the total record
Mm.
for the Masters to unlimited weight class. I mean, it was
Mm.
just incredible to see. And
Well, I
then the
was jacked
energy you
up,
had
man.
coming off that platform too, like every single time that you came off of a lift, you just about took my arm off with those high fives. Like I had to back up a couple times, like you were gonna
I was
bulldoze
jacked
me.
up, man. Like especially that last bench press. I'm like, yeah, and like it wasn't heavy at all to me. It felt like 100 pounds. I think it was like
Uh,
only 407. But I got it, when she said start, and as soon
yeah,
as the judge yelled out lift, I jacked that thing up and I lost control at the top.
yeah.
It felt like I don't know 100 pounds, and I just threw it right up, and I'm like, oh yeah, I surprised myself.
Well, I
But
think if we loaded up 430, you probably would have
yeah,
had it in that
oh
moment.
yeah, the adrenaline I had that day was just like I
Oh
would
yeah.
have smashed 430. But when I threw it up like that, what happened? The bar hit the rack, and I guess they
Yep.
counted it
Yep.
as a pre-rack, whatever. And even then, I
Yeah, I,
stabilized it.
I think because hitting the rack is not the problem. It's when you use the
Yeah,
rack as a ramp. And I think
yeah,
watching back on that video, it looked
mm,
like as you hit the rack, you kept going up and it sort of pulled the rails up. So it may have been interpreted that you were ramping up on the rack.
um,
That's probably what did it.
yeah,
Uh,
You looked really
but other
strong.
than that, I mean,
yeah,
you killed it that day, and now you've qualified to go to nationals.
yeah,
I mean, that is sick. Like your first powerlifting meet, and you're already going to nationals.
mm, yeah. I'm
And
excited.
Nick, why don't you tell us a little bit about that meet? What was it like? Hosting another local meet. I think this is what your second meet that you've hosted.
This is my first that I directed all like on my own. It was a lot of work, that's for sure. I don't think people go in think about how much work goes into running a meet. in hindsight, just everything that all the preparation and, making sure that all my I's were dotted and my T's were crossed,
Yeah.
because, things still happened, but it's something to improve on. So I kind of went into it with my mindset, like I wanted to make it a good experience, but it didn't have to be perfect. But definitely a lot of work.
That's
I look
awesome.
forward to doing the next one. I want to really provide, a platform for the local lifters of Rhode Island to have more competitions, and I want to run better competitions down at the in the future, where like more advanced lifters will be, really excited to come and compete in our in our comps. Maybe give away bigger cash prizes, and have
Yeah.
a bigger production and stuff. I
Sort
thought
of
it
Yeah,
was great.
a lot of
like a
energy in that.
special meet. Like you know how they have Ladies of Iron? Like that's a special meet. Like
Hmm.
maybe if we had something like that in Rhode Island, something that would be a
I was
special
gonna
meet.
run that this year too, but I decided not to, just because I thought it was a quick turnaround, and Rhode Island's not as established, and we got Connecticut and Mass, so I didn't want to have it like for like 15
Well, yeah.
people.
You
But
want to
in
like
the
set up
future,
a
I'm
few
hoping
comps, get established, and then go for something that might be a little bit bigger.
for sure. Yeah, I think that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we had a nice combo rack. We had URI spotting and loading, and they were hype. You
They
know,
were.
they did a great job. They made the competition. Heidi was doing the commentary that came out really really good.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
And helping on Friday to get the place set up.
yep, you and
Mm.
Heidi helped me, and
Yeah.
you know how much work it was. It was a lot of work.
Oh yeah, setting up all that equipment. Also, all the man, it takes a lot of energy out of you moving plates. Like, I move plates all the time in my training, but when you're picking up like 25, 30 plates from these machines and lifting them off the machine so that you can move the machine and then putting them back on the machine in a different spot, it takes gas out of you.
Yeah,
I
and
think my
Steve at
training on
the
Sunday wasn't very good afterwards.
yeah, my training that whole week sucked. But
Yeah.
Steve at the Top Strength Project does a really good job. He's a beast. He moves the whole gym around, almost like like second nature, and he gets to work. You can see his
Oh
work
yeah.
ethic, and I
Well, and
really appreciate his help.
were those in his employees or were they just gym bros? Because
Some were employees, and some were just gym bros, just helping out.
they were just on top of just helping us out, getting set up. It was so cool.
Yeah, it was good.
I wish I had their names so I could just shout them out because I mean, what they did was phenomenal. The way that they just hopped in, like, yeah, where do you want this? Where do you want that? And they didn't complain, they didn't fuss or anything. It was just like some real camaraderie up at the Top Strength project.
Yeah,
And Steve's, he's such a great guy. I also love that in his competitions. I mean, it's a great hosting venue. On
mm,
top of everything, they have a full snack bar set up and ready to
Mm.
go. It'll cater to everybody, including the people in the audience. Sometimes we go to these local meets and it's starvation mode. You got to go down to the Dunkin' Donuts down the street to get your morning coffee and breakfast before you come in, and then there's no food. You go to Top Strength, they're making protein pancakes behind the counter and giving out iced coffee, and I mean that was really great. That the merch they had on hand, the support they gave, um, it was just a phenomenal experience.
He said he's opening up in a bigger gym, right?
yep,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Steve's moving into a bigger facility, and he said it's gonna be on
that's
a different
awesome.
level compared to what they have now. The facility they have currently, it's an awesome gym. But I think it's gonna get even better when they go to their new facility. I can't wait to see it.
yeah, I agree.
That was exciting. Though there's a
Especially
lot of
for
energy
the
in that
sake of
place.
hosting comps. Like if we can host bigger comps, more lifters,
Mm.
and accommodating bigger families. The big thing that you run into with a lot of these meets, even in Top Strength, it can be an issue where there's not enough seating for people.
Yeah,
So you had like for example at the Cold Hearts, we had a lot of people standing around. There wasn't enough chairs. But you can't blame Top Strength for that, because there literally just wasn't enough places to sit. The meet was just big enough, and the number of people showing up was big enough that they needed a bigger facility. So when they go to that new facility, I think we're going to see that we'll be able to host bigger meets, more challenging meets, and bring in people from all over New England, and it's going to
Yeah.
be great.
I rented 30 chairs for that comp. And yeah, the whole gym was packed. So it was a
The
great
whole thing
turnout.
was packed. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and on a different point, shifting over, I just got back from the Arnold's. That
Hmm.
was up in Columbus, Ohio. I mean, it was a great competition. It was my first time being in Columbus. I had never seen this level for powerlifting. Like, I've been to IDFPA Bench Worlds. I've been to the UK for the World Cup. That was my second time going. Was in Albany. The first time was in England. But when I went to Columbus, I had never seen that many people. There were 200,000 people in this convention center. They had so many people that the whole place had to be staffed with police everywhere, just to keep control of people, manage people, make sure that everything is safe, that there's nothing going wrong. They had just the number of stands, stalls, companies. All these companies were set up, and then powerlifting, the USAPL. They we had this big corner in the Coliseum. It was a phenomenal setup. We had jumbotrons behind the platforms. I had never seen that before.
Yeah, that's always
The
cool.
those yeah. So jumbotrons, these were modular screens. They're about the size of an iPad, and then they're joined together to form a massive mega screen. And every time somebody went out there to do a world record, and oh my gosh, the number of people going for world records. When I was watching the women's division, at one point it was one woman after another after another after another, and it was world record, world record, world record. In the span of 10 minutes, I saw probably 7 lifters going for world records with the women's division. And mind you, I was in the men's division. When I go compete, I don't focus on anybody else. I have to focus on myself and what I'm attempting to do. You're never gonna hear me talking about, oh, all the guys were doing this, the guys were doing that. Because when I'm competing, I'm not gonna pay attention to what anyone else is doing. I'm focused on me and what I'm doing. I have to enter that mindset, and then afterwards I have to find out. You know, and it was it was spectacular. Gino was there, doing the announcing. There was another announcer. Forgive me, I don't know his name. And the two of them, they easily handled platforms 1 and 2. For my opener, I did 462 pounds, and it was nice and quick. I hit the rack. I set up a little bit too close, but when I hit the rack, it wasn't a no lift. I didn't support against the rack. Second attempt, we went for 473, smoked it. And then for my third attempt, I did 490 and broke the Rhode Island state record. So, all told, it was a great experience. I'm glad I went. I placed first in my weight class, ninth overall. Um, but all told, I feel like if I could do one thing different, I think next time it would be to go a little bit more full out. I wanted to save my energy for the upcoming meet in
Yeah, you're two
New
weeks out
Hampshire.
now, right?
Yeah, the New Hampshire State. That's my attempt to get into nationals this
And
year.
how many competitions have you done overall?
I've done 12, so the
That's
next one will
good.
be my 13th.
Yeah, so you're getting quite a lot of experience, and going into the Arnold's and stuff like that, you still felt like, really excited and everything like that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
every time I go, my heart starts pounding. It's like uh, it's a lot like when you're about to get on a roller coaster minus the fear. You get the adrenaline, but you're not getting the fear. I'm not afraid.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Man, my heart is pounding in my chest, and I have to like control my heart rate.
I don't think that ever changes. So, like Dan, for your first competition, you were pretty excited too, and I don't think that's gonna, like, I don't think that's ever gonna change. After that first lift, you kind of get like a sense of relief. At least I do. It's just like, oh, I'm in. And I don't think that ever changes with competing.
Hey, tell me if this happens to you guys. You compete, and then afterwards, when you get back to your hotel room or your home, right, your hands are doing this.
Sometimes, yeah, I get pretty hyped.
After my I had full confidence in the bench and the deadlift because I was always worried about the depth with the squat. So once I got my first squat down, I'm like, all right, we got this. So
squats, that first lift, I feel like whatever it is, whether you're in a bench or a full power, I feel like that's a little bit of anxiety. But I like to say that you just get really excited,
Yeah. Well, big thing with Dan is I knew that he had all the strength needed. The only thing I was worried about with you was on the squat. I was worried you were going to tip forward and hit the rack. And you didn't do it.
Yeah.
And as we discovered in our training recently, I mean, it looks to be you're one of those people that you don't actually get the benefit from using squat shoes, do you? From having the elevated heel. It pitches you forward.
Yeah.
And then you started squatting with the deadlift slippers, and it made a great difference for you.
Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah.
I mean, that's
and I even hit a PR too yesterday. And usually when I get to the heavy weights like that, I'm going more forward and tipping, with those flat shoes.
Yeah.
That was like perfect with those, deadlift shoes.
Yeah. I feel like that might be a little bit more something to do with, mobility in your hips. You might have a little bit tighter hips, perhaps. I mean, Nick, you would know when the weight starts getting heavier and then they're having trouble with tipping forward, what do you think that comes from?
It could be a couple things. It could come down to balance and like, what type of shoe were you using before?
I was using those high heel Nikes.
He was using like a Nike. It was like a Nike Romaleos type shoe with the elevated heel with like a 1.5
So those have a big heel. They're quite elevated. Where like an Adidas Power, they have like a smaller heel. That could probably be a good option for you too. But getting tip forward, out of the hole, it could be bracing. It could be like center of mass where like the bar's behind you and then it wants to get back over midfoot. Could be upper back tightness. It could be that you're on your heels, like I said, and the bar gets behind you and it's trying to get forward. So, I do like a flat shoe because I get to feel balanced, and I think that's really important. But like I said, all different types of things for different lifters. Like the higher heel might work for somebody, and the flat shoe might work for somebody. A slipper might work for somebody, which you were squatting in yesterday. Like I use an Avancus, and it's a little different than a slipper, but it's going to change your squat too. So, just messing around and playing with different types of shoes and different types of equipment, I think is good.
The training was very important because if I didn't go through that training, man, I would have probably hit the list, but not the way it should have been. I mean, you guys see me, in the LA Fitness over there, trying to hit those lifts and all that, but now learn the techniques. And I went laser focused. I'm like, I'm going to do this and do it right, before this competition. So every bench press, I don't care if it's the warm-up sets, I would come down, hold it for a second, then up and hold it, suspend it above me, then rack it. And same thing with the squats, just like you told me, worry about the depth first, because that's what a lot of people like myself at the time. You just worry about doing the lift, but when you worry about getting the depth first, it helps a lot. Then you worry about
the big thing that's the big thing with the squat.
Yeah.
A lot of people will focus on, and sometimes I even catch myself doing it. They focus on trying to do the lift, get it over with.
Yeah.
And then they cut depth. They want to get back up and rack it. If you focus on hitting depth first, get down to depth first, if you're gonna fail the lift, let yourself fail the lift because you couldn't get back up. Don't fail the lift because you didn't go deep enough. Right?
Yeah, it happens. Like for me in like depth, like I'm 38, and if I don't warm up, man, I can't move. Like, I'm just not moving very good. Like, I feel like if you watch like the top squatters in the sport, they all move really well. You know what I mean? The top benchers, they move well. They do the bench press well. The top deadlifters, they perform the lift good. So, like, if you're not moving good, you're not lifting good. So, like, for me, I have to get loose. I have to, take a couple extra warm ups if I'm feeling like crap. Maybe
Yep.
do my mobility drills, get on the bike, and start to move good. I think the movement, like, quality, is something that you'll see across the top end of lifters. They all just move well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something exciting to see is when people apply themselves and then they achieve new levels in their lifting training.
Oh, it's hard because you told me before, a lot of people get stuck in their ways because I've been doing it for a while now and they get stuck in their ways. So I had to reset my mind. It's like, no, I'm going to start new. And I it was a big pill as well because my weight numbers went down, to get that proper form and everything. So it was a pill to swallow. You got to humble yourself, swallow
Yeah.
that pride. You know what I mean? And just do it right. And all of a sudden, when you do it right, get it going right, then all of a sudden the numbers start getting back up real quick. And
It
so
hurts. It hurts your pride when
yeah, it
you
does.
have to
Yeah.
fundamentally change something,
Yep.
and then your numbers drop by half.
Yeah.
They drop
And
down
when
to a
I told you,
number.
you're the teacher, I'm going to keep my mouth shut, my ears open, and I just listen to instructions. And you got to listen to criticism too. Somebody says, "Hey,
And you
yeah,
did that,
yeah,
and now look where you're at. I mean,
yeah,
you broke 8 records in one comp. Actually, 9 if you include the total,
mm,
and you got gold medal for masters, gold medal for the open category too, and now you qualified for nationals.
mm.
That is phenomenal progress,
You looked
and
really
I can't
strong
wait
on
to
the
see what
day
you do in the
too.
platform.
Yeah."
Yeah,
Thanks.
Dylan did a really good job peeking you out and
Mm,
getting you ready. So I'm pretty excited to see him, like, kind of continue to coach you and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and
mm,
maybe coach a couple other lifters and stuff.
Mhm. I've been
So
experimenting with his program because I know he's a
yeah,
little bit different when it comes to training. Like everybody's unique, and I
hmm
find Dan responds really well when you let him go more full out on his accessories. Like for example, he loves the dumbbell bench press,
yeah,
right,
there you
Dan?
go.
Like I get hesitant to take it away from him and give
mm,
him something that has to do with cables because he just loves to pick up those 120s, get them in his hands, and then bang out a set of 12.
yeah,
You know, and I also think that it's really good for your deadlift too. Like it'll
mm,
help your forearm strength with gripping the bar
yeah,
when you get up there. I've noticed that there's like I like to experiment and see, what can we change here, what can we change there, but then we want to be consistent and stick with it for a while to see if we can make progress. And if I want to make a change, I like to wait a while and then make the change. Like I started putting you on to doing hip thrusts and
mm,
the SSB squat. Because it worked well for me. I didn't introduce it before your first comp. I didn't want to do anything that would throw you off. So
yeah,
I held it off until after your comp. Um, but we're going to start doing stuff like, the single arm tricep cable push down is something I
mm,
might have you start doing on Wednesdays. Like there's things that we're going to do that I feel pushing accessories is the best way to grow your overall it builds your physique, it builds
yeah,
size, mass. It also helps you with the really high top end, especially for those Italian grinders when they get really, really, really slow on the way up for grinding out that extra rep.
yeah,
When you do a bit higher rep training with your accessories, it what that does is you're literally taking that muscle and you're working it 12, 14, 15 reps. That requires a lot of energy, and you burn through that energy really quickly during a very heavy exertion set. But when it turns into a grinder, I feel that if you push that, you like push your accessories, you might be able to grind out a rep that where you would have otherwise failed.
Yeah, I work on my grip strength a lot, and when I do the dumbbell rows, no straps, nothing, I grab the 120s, and it's hard to hold sometimes. Depends on the energy, but I crank them up. Same thing on the bench press. Yeah, I mean, like I always like to strengthen my grip. I'll get on the grip machine, or do some wrist curls, reverse wrist curls, and even palm a dumbbell and pick it up, put it down, and all that stuff, and all these little grip exercises.
And then you were also doing that thing for a while where you were picking up the dumbbells with your hand.
Palm it,
and then picking them up like a crane, like and then moving them around. And then how heavy did you get with that?
Oh, well, basically I was going high as I can. It's just like as long as you could grip that dumbbell, and if they get wide, obviously if you can't grip it, you won't be able to pick it up. But I think it was going up to LA Fitness of 30 pounds, I think it was. You could grip the dumbbell and you could pick it up, and it was getting easier at that time. But it was like, again, the dumbbells, when they get bigger, they get more wider, so it's hard. You can't grip it, but make a little game out of it. It's how many times you can put it on the bench and take it off the bench each hand.
Well, it definitely
I studied a lot of my grip training from Brian Shaw. He's got awesome grip, and that's where I started studying his techniques for grip training.
Yeah. Well, and we've seen some phenomenal progress from you. Nick, for example, I've seen that lately your numbers have been going up. I remember for a while your training wasn't going so good, and now it looks like you're back on the up and up, and now you have
a PR.
What are you, 4 weeks out, you said?
6 weeks out.
6 weeks out, and who's going to be your handler?
OG Big Shits.
Yeah,
we're gonna go in there, and I'm feeling really confident. Training's been going good, so like my body weight is pretty much heavier than I've ever been, but it's exciting because it's allowed me to touch weights that I've never touched.
It's really ironic you say that to the two big guys on stream.
But I feel good. I'm gonna compete in the 90 kg class at the Massachusetts Spring Classic. Squats have been going good. I think I have a lot left in the squat.
You hit a PR the other day, right?
What's that?
You hit a PR the other day on the squat.
Yeah. 485. I smoked it. I felt like I could have taken it for 3 reps, and felt good on that. I hit 462 for 4 on squat. That was a little tougher, but I felt good. A little fatigued. Bench has been going good. I've been whacking like 315 at the end of the blocks, unless I skip my accessories and don't do my dumbbell presses like I should. The dumbbell press is a great accessory for the bench, I feel like. Deadlift, my squat kind of nerfs my deadlift, but I think I'll have something for meet day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad.
So I'm looking at a total over 1,300, hopefully, and get in there, and I'm just locking in.
Yeah. Well, and on my end of things, yesterday, so I did the comp on Friday. I did the 490 on the platform, and then, training's been going really good for the bench. Yesterday I smoked 496 on the bench, and man, I think there was easily more than 10 pounds, like maybe 15, 16 more pounds on there. Like
the way that it moved, I would say easy 5 kilos.
Yeah. Well, that's the 507.
Yeah, easy. I think like a grind would have been like 7.5. Like, what is that? 513.
513.
Yeah, I think you could squeeze that out.
I mean, we bring that to New Hampshire State. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, so I think we're just gonna keep ramping it up, and like all in hindsight, like with the Arnold, like it was just like another training week for you. But you went out there and performed. You put up a good number, right?
Yeah.
And you have a lot of momentum right now on the bench. So I think you're looking good. We changed to 3 times a week bench, and you're feeling healthy.
Yeah.
So I think that's been something that's held us back.
435 for 5 yesterday, and I think I easily had 3 more reps in the tank when I racked it.
Yeah, it looks good.
So we're making like phenomenal progress on it. I just want that momentum for the deadlift,
The
But
taper
you
is
know
going
what? I mean,
to help
we
you.
are making progress, because on the volume for deadlifts, I remember for a long time I couldn't really push past doing like 375
Mm.
for 4 reps or something like that. But now we're getting it up to where I'm doing like sets of 4 with 440, 450, and more. So I think that we're getting closer to being able to push a new deadlift PR. We just gotta like lock down a few key breakdowns in technique that happen when I get to the top end. And I think we
Yeah.
might be able to push a bit heavier and get up to like 572, 576, something like that.
Deadlifts are tough to train, man.
Mm.
They smoke me for week in and week out. It's hard,
And
and
they just
they're
use so
hard.
much muscle. They suck the energy out of you.
For me, like I always like my body type is a little bit more geared towards squats and bench, so I get a little bit more excited about those lifts. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring in like an attitude on deadlift where I'm going to try to PR every single session, even though I'm not, but I'm trying to treat it like a PR and
Mm.
like attack the weight, not be passive and just
Yeah.
try to get after it. You know what I mean? And I'm not the best deadlifter in the world, but I'm working hard on it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. For example, on my end of things, I did the hip thrust. I'm
Mm-hmm.
using the hip thrust to try to build my lockout. And the other day, I did a 90-pound PR on for sets of 6 on the hip thrust. I did 675 for 6. Whereas
That's huge.
when I first started doing hip thrusts, I could only really do it with like 405
Mm.
for like 5 reps. Like I couldn't even do the full 6. So we made phenomenal progress on that, and I'm hoping it's going to translate to the bar. It's just a matter of practice,
Yeah, it
muscle
makes
memory.
sense because both of me and you wrestled in high school. So when you pick up somebody, you use your hips for it. So that makes a
Yep.
lot of sense.
Oh
And since
yeah,
I've been using a hip thruster too, it's helped me out a lot in the deadlift there.
yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
keep doing them. I
Mm.
feel they're really going to help your deadlift, man.
Yeah.
So, we're about a quarter of the way through 2026. Dan competed in his first one. What's your next comp, Dan? Nationals?
Nationals in June. Yeah.
You gonna try to squeeze anything in between, or
If something comes along, definitely.
that might be a good idea too.
Yeah.
Maybe like train into something and just kind of like get a little bit more experience.
Yeah.
Well, and we also have regional signups opened up yesterday.
Mm,
One
that's
of
always a
those.
good meet.
Huh?
One of those.
So regionals, I believe, is going to be in October.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. I was gonna sign up. Well, sign
Yeah,
up anyway, but
but it's really good to sign up for it. When you go to a regional level meet, Dan, it's way above. Um, you see, it starts out with local meets, then state meets, and
mm,
then you might have some special meets, and they can range from being something as low as a local meet to as high as like a national level meet. Like Arnold's is a national level meet,
yeah,
right? But it's not nationals, so it's a special event. But you have local, state, regional, national, and world. Those are the different levels. But what I will tell you is that even though you're going to nationals, it's still really good to go to regionals.
yeah,
Regional's a big
Re-
event.
yeah.
Regionals is a huge event. It
Mm,
is enormous,
a
and
lot of
it's
good
going to be
lifters.
the entire New England region will
Well, I'm
be
looking to compete in
at this
anything.
event.
I just want to, get a lot of experience competitions and
Yeah,
get hopefully many medals as I can.
yeah. Our whole team goes to regionals every year, so it'll be great to have you up there.
This
Yeah.
year it's in New Jersey.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
it's in New Jersey.
Tony
It's been in
Soprano's going to be
Albany for
there.
many years, but now it's in New Jersey.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good year. I'm looking this year, to bring the team stronger, step forward.
Hmm.
Last year we had a great year. Dylan got second in the world on his bench press. He did, really good at that Titan strength
Yep.
meet. This year for him, I'm looking to get him to nationals. I'm looking to get him to, win worlds in the
Oh
bench.
yeah.
We're going to go into this New Hampshire meet kick some butt. As a team, I'm looking to grow the team. So we're looking for new people, new lifters. Regionals is
We
great.
want
Last year,
hungry
Jessica
people.
won it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But I feel like your appetite for what you want will grow as your numbers begin to grow. A lot of people when they first join the team, they'll be a bit insecure. Like you'll have people that don't want to drive 2 hours to go compete because they don't think they're all that good. Some of them will be like, well, I can't even bench 315, or, oh, my deadlift isn't even at 405 yet, right? Like you'll have people, but then when they start having those numbers, all of a sudden they want to go to nationals, they want to go to worlds, they want to go to Arnold's. I think there's on some level, it's like a matter of a lack of confidence and security, like insecurity.
I think that, we've invested a lot into the sport, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's something that people can take away from us.
Yeah.
And like you said, as they become better lifters, they learn to invest more and they're going to get more out of it.
Yeah.
It's giving you a lot, right? It's giving you the opportunity to travel the country, meet new people, meet new friends.
I've never been to Europe. I went to Lincolnshire. So I went up to London and I got to do a tour of all these different buildings in London. I got to spend a few nights in a historic hotel that was very old. I got to take a train ride all the way up into Lincolnshire. I looked and I got to see the beautiful English countryside. It was just a phenomenal experience, and the people in Lincolnshire were very, very, very nice people. Friendly faces on every corner, and it was a lot like, I kid you not, the only thing I can really compare it to is Harry Potter. Like I was going up and down the streets and I was seeing alleyways and it looked like something like out of Diagon Alley. You know what I'm talking about from the books, or the movie. I mean, I'm going through and it looked like that, but like they had a beautiful tavern, not a tavern, but they had a tea house set up over a bridge, and I think it was like 800 years old or something like that, or like 600 years old. It was a bridge with a tea house on top of it that had like 5 floors, and you go on, every floor is crooked, every floor is slanted.
It's pretty crazy.
It's part of the character of that place that it was built in the Middle Ages and it's still around, and they're serving really good tea. I mean, it was a great experience. That's something that's going to happen when you do powerlifting and you get up to the really high levels. Next thing you know, you're going to Sweden, you're going to Italy, you're going to France and Belgium and Germany, and you get to just travel the world, lift weights, and see all kinds of things that you never thought you'd see. And if you turn it into a vacation, you can make something out of it. Like, you go compete, and then maybe you spend an extra week. That's something people can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a good opportunity for me because I really never traveled in my life. And last year I got on a plane for the first time. It's been good.
I feel like we're looking at a picture of Dan.
Danny.
We lost Dan.
Yeah, we lost him.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think that's a good place to wrap it up. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah, it was good. So where can people find you? OG Big Lifts on Instagram?
Instagram.
All right. Yep. Nick Level Up on Instagram, and we got Bionic Dan Bidondi.
LVLUP. One word. Nick LVLUP.
Yes, sir. All right, brother. Well, have a good day, man.
All right, you too. Take care. All right.